Hello, 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 and welcome to our Wednesday where we share words of wisdom. Today, we're going to be talking about don't be a sheep to your enemy. That's a whole preach message within itself. Don't be a sheep to your enemy. Now, if we can kind of compare, we can kind of talk about, I guess we could say that, Jesus and how he is our shepherd and we are his sheep. The sheep know the voice of their father, their shepherd, and a stranger he or she will not follow. But oftentimes we find ourselves allowing Satan, our enemy, to be our shepherd and we be his little sheep. Don't be a sheep to your enemy, because what your enemy or what Satan will do is he will try to dominate you. He will try to control you. He will try to manipulate you. He will try to send a strong delusion over you. He will try to deceive you, kill you, steal you, destroy you. You don't want Satan to be your shepherd. You don't want to walk around blindly as sheep do. When you think about a sheep, sheep, it talks about in the definition of a sheep, they say that sheep are dumb. Sheep are dumb because they don't know which way to go. Only when they have a shepherd are they able to go in the place of where their shepherd is leading them. If your shepherd leads you over here in greener pastures, that's where you will go. If your shepherd leads you into a wealthy place, that's where you will go. But if Satan is your shepherd, then he will lead you down the place of destruction, death, a bad place. You don't want your enemy, which is Satan, he's our opponent. You don't want him to lead you astray. And we have to watch that. We have to watch that even with people. We can't allow people to lead us down a dark path or lead us down the wrong road, because there are many roads, but there is a path that we choose that the end result of that path is life, is happiness, is the fullness of joy. There are blessings, it's prosperity. Making the best decision that you could ever make if you choose the right instead of the left, you may be in the wrong place. If you choose the left instead of the right place, the right path, you may be in the wrong place. So it pays to be on the right side of things. You don't want to be on the side where Satan is going, because guess what? We don't want that place. You don't want that place for yourself. Don't be a sheep to your enemy, because your enemy knows how to destroy you. He knows how to plan for your demise. You don't want that for yourself. You don't want that for your life. You don't want that for your children. You don't want that for your family. You don't want that at all. So, like I said, don't be a sheep. Don't be led to the slaughterhouse. Just because everyone else is going with the narrative, just because everyone else is going through that door, doesn't mean that you're supposed to go through that door. Just because everybody went to that particular business doesn't mean that you're supposed to go to that business. I'm just trying to make this thing plain to you, because oftentimes we take away the free will of people. We take away the right of choice. And when you're being led of the Lord, when you're being directed by him, you don't follow everybody, because there is a voice that you listen to that is the dominant voice in your life, that no matter if your friends go, no matter if your family go, no matter if the folk on your job go, or the people that are in that store go, that voice tells you don't go there. Then you go wherever that voice tells you to go. You don't go where everybody goes. You don't make the same decision everybody else makes. Why? Because you're in tune with God. And when you're in tune with him, you're listening to his still small voice, not the voice of a stranger, not the voice of a wolf in sheep's clothing. You're listening to his voice. It is so imperative. It is so necessary for us to have that dominant voice in our life, which is the Holy Spirit, Jesus Christ, who talks to us. He walks with us. He leads and he guides us, his Holy Spirit. He shows us great and mighty things that we know not of. Sometimes we don't know where we're going. Of course we don't, because we're just walking this life out. We don't know, but he knows. Holy Spirit knows. Jesus knows. So if we pay close attention, make sure that our spiritual ears are open and our spiritual eyes are awakened, then we can go in the direction that he's leading us. Holy Spirit is leading us, or Jesus is leading us, and not listen to those other voices, because those other voices are distractions. Those other voices don't want you to go along the straight and narrow path. Those other voices, they don't want you to be your best you. They don't. So, don't be a sheep to your enemy. Don't be a sheep to your enemy. Don't walk into this thing blindly. Don't listen to the garbage. Don't follow along with what everybody else is doing. I get I'm this type of person. I'm okay if God says for me to do something different from what the masses are doing. Why? Because I'm in tune with him. I don't walk in fear of what could be potentially going on in the world, that I forget to tune in to God, to hear his voice and what he's saying to me. Not what he's saying to other people, but what he's saying to me specifically, because he knows where he wants me to be and he knows what direction he wants me to go. And so I take pleasure in that. And sometimes it seems like it is a lonely walk, and it's a lonely place, because there are times when you down on your knees. Is there anybody there right next to you that's down on their knees as well, praying with you? There are times when you go through the valley of the shadow of death. Is somebody there right there next to you? A lot of times when you going through, there's nobody there but God. There's no other voice but his. If you pay attention and listen, if you just settle yourself and get to a place of peace where you are hearing him, he's the only voice speaking. Because those friends, them church folk, that said they're going to always be there. Oh, I got your back. They don't have your back when you're going through. When you're going through, when you need them the most, you can't hear the claps. You don't hear them. It's silent. It's silent. You feel what I'm saying? You're going to go through them silent seasons. And notice, when you go through silent seasons, that means people ain't there. You can't even get a glass of water. You can't even get a little nice text message. They're not there. It's silent. And you wondering what happened. Did you do something wrong? No, you just going through your season. And seasons change. People change. When you go through, sometimes you don't see people. You don't even know they exist. It just seems like you're in the world by yourself. Have you been there? Are you there right now? Even if you call somebody, if you reach out to folks, oh, I'm coming, I'll be there, and they don't show up. But God is always there. He's always on time. He will always show up because he's always there. You better believe that. You can take that to the bank and cash that one, babe, because he's always there. He's gonna always be there. But people are not gonna always be there. So you gotta be preparing yourself for that. You gotta prepare yourself for heartbreak. Because these are people. These are human beings. You know. They flaky. They change like the wind. The wind blows from the east, it blows from the west. Blows from the north, blows from the south. People change just like that. And you can't even get mad at them. Matter of fact, you just have to know where you are. And you have to be in tune with your Creator who made you, because He brought you here. Even though your parents had you, they were the vehicle that God used to bring you to this place. But you got to walk this thing out. And like I said, those friends may not be there to help you walk it out. But when you come out, it seems like that's when they come around. After the storm is over. After you came out of your season. But that's all right too. It's all good because the Bible talks about all things work together. So if you were in my life during my season, you probably would have disturbed some things that happened that could have been detoured because you were there. But the fact that you weren't there, God had His hands all in it. God was able to demonstrate His awesome power, and nobody else could take the credit. You see how that goes? Nobody else could take the credit. Your friends couldn't take the credit. Your pastor couldn't take the credit. Your family member couldn't take the credit. Your mama, your daddy, your sister, your uncle, your aunt, they couldn't take the credit. Only person who could take the credit, God. He's the only one. So there was a reason. Don't think it's strange. Don't think it was just, oh, woe is me. It's always happening to me. I'm always going through it. No, nobody ever watches it or listens to me. Nobody ever sees about me or is concerned about me. It was by design. It was designed for you to go through that way. Because Jesus, when you think about all the things that Jesus had to go through to get to where He gave up His life, He sacrificed His life. Look at everything that He went through and encountered. Same things we're going through right now. The betrayal, the stabbing in the back. The folk that were with Him, the 12 that were with Him, all 12 of them went with Him. Friends walked away. Friends denied Him. Friends sold Him for some pieces of silver. Everybody that's saying they with you, bruh, sis, they ain't with you. But it all works together for the good. And let me tell you something. When you come out of it, oh yeah, you're going to come out of it changed. You're going to come out of it a new person with a new perspective and a new lookout on life. And your commitment and dedication to God, it's going to be different because you walk through that thing by yourself and God. Okay, so when I say by yourself, I'm talking about without the fleshy involvement, people. But God said, "Lo, I am with you always, even to the end of the earth." So God is with us every step of the way. People just not. Let's absorb that, take that in, digest it, and be good with that. It's okay. But you're going to be better when you come out of this season. You're going to be stronger when you come out of this season. You're going to be wiser when you come out of this season. And you're going to be going to another level when you come out of this season. Because what? Experience is the greatest teacher. Y'all excuse my noise in the background. I have these children. Experience is the greatest teacher. You got to go through to get to where God's trying to take you. But through the process, you learning something. You growing because Before you went into this fire, you was at a place. You were basic. You came out of this fire, baby. You exceptional. You one of a kind. You hear me? You come out of this fire. You one of a kind. Exceptional. Exceptional. Couldn't nobody walk out of this fire like you did. They can't repeat it. Can't repeat it. Can't repeat it. Can't be replicated. Can't be duplicated. One of a kind. And the fact that Jesus was in the fire with you, they thought you were going to burn, just like, the Hebrew boys when they went into the fire. They thought that you were going to be consumed and obliterated when you went through that fire. But when you came out, they saw you and Jesus. What in the world is going on? Yeah. See, when I walked in there, I was different. When I walked in there, I was in a different place. But when I walked out, you saw me and you saw my help. And I was one of a kind. I was exceptional. Because the great one was with me and he walked through with me. He said, when you walk through the fire, you're not going to be consumed. Why? He's there. He's there. So back into, I'm veering off topic, but back to what I was saying. Don't be a sheep to your enemy. Don't give him the satisfaction. Don't give him that satisfaction. Don't walk with him when you know that you're with God. Make a clear distinction. For God I live, for God I die. I'm serving God all of the days of my life. I am not going to be bamboozled. I'm not going to be deceived. I'm not going to walk into a trap and allow the enemy to veer me off the path that God has me on. No, I'm staying focused. My guards are up. I know my purpose. I know that God has a plan for me. And I'm going to walk this plan out. Yeah, it's me and God. Me and God. People may come and go. And I'm going to endure some seasons. I'm going to endure some things. Because this life brings about hardship. It brings about struggles and troubles and going through loss and grief and all of these things. But what we are comforted by is the fact that God is with us. He said he'll never leave us nor forsake us. And he loves us with an everlasting love. And what God gives you, the world cannot take it away. That's that peace. That's that joy. That's that love. Can't take it away. So this is our Wild Wednesday. It's gonna cut off in a few minutes, but I've enjoyed it, and I hope that you all have taken something from this and are able to apply it to your life. God bless you. Until next time. Peace out. Love you. Bye-bye.